extra, in addition to Blended Family Podcast of episode 4, I am actually going to bring in my one-woman production team, Miss KAYLA!
Hey everybody, I am KAYLA. KAYLA ISMANIE, as you guys see me behind the scenes as far 4 episodes in. Yeah, I'm here in the flesh, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, so anywho, just to give a little bit of briefing about me. Well, I do have my own platform, A Good Faith with K. So I'm so blessed and so happy, as I constantly remind and tell LORRAINE too. Like, I'm so blessed to collaborate with her on Blended Family. So yeah.
So absolutely. So the reason why we are making this in addition to episode 4 is because a lot of it was touched on the fact that I had grown in my faith with God, especially after moving here along with my children. So
yeah, here's where I guess I come in, because so this week especially, we've been conversing about, or I've been conversing about too, like, and telling LORRAINE how much I've seen her growth, like, in the past year or so now. So, coming from a third party angle, I just see so much hope and so much growth to the sense of peace, strength, wisdom, and in the most dismal or challenging moments, I've seen like a different way, a spiritual way, a faith way, a warrior woman way of overcoming and like journeying through certain moments. I don't know, it's week to week, it's day to day. It's
surprising. It's week by week we go by.
Hour by hour.
And sometimes we go by day. And this week, now just so you also know, KAYLA and I, we are 20 years apart.
Quite literally.
Yeah, literally. We're 20 years apart. And this week, I went through something at the beginning of this week. And it's something that I do suffer from. I may have touched on it in episode 4, but I do go through depression spells. And I felt it coming on, which was good. I also know what was the trigger, which was also good. When I got to work on Monday, KAYLA, she usually comes see me in the morning, No, actually, no, you wasn't there that Monday. No. You wasn't there Monday, so it must have been Tuesday. I got you on Tuesday. Yeah. So on Monday, I had already felt it. I was already down. When I am depressed like that, I separate myself from everybody. I don't want to talk to anybody because I am trying to dissect what's going on with my feelings. What can I do to make it better? Because I knew what the trigger was, which was the best part. Usually when I fall into depression, it takes me about a good 2 to 3 days to figure out what was the trigger. But at this time, I knew exactly what the trigger was. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to work. I actually called out that day. And as I was leaving my home, I was triggered with depression. The very next day, on Tuesday, KAYLA came to see me, and I was very distant from her in a way. I didn't talk much. She's talking.
But I didn't even notice it, or
because I'm very good at camouflaging. Yeah. I camouflage my feelings a lot, so a lot of people don't know that there are things that I am going through, and I was really going through it. I was ready to have a breakdown. I was ready to cry, and I text KAYLA after she left me, and I said, KAYLA, I am so sorry. I said, I didn't speak much, and I said, I apologize for being distant. And like she just mentioned, she said she didn't know. Yeah. And I said, I'm going through a depression right now. And I actually told her what the trigger was. And
so spiritually, I was like, okay.
Yes.
I will be praying.
And I asked, because I did. I asked her to pray for me. I did. I asked KAYLA to pray for me.
Thank you, bro.
And she said, okay, Then I have, everybody knows, my phone could be, I'm one of those people, my phone is always next to me, but it's like this. My phone is, everybody know, I have a coworker who gets, you know, she sometimes leaves her badges at home and she calls me and she be like, Lorraine don't got her phone up. Because my phone just stays at the desk, whatever. But for whatever reason, I always know when my kids are calling me. But anyway, so when I went back to my phone, Kayla has sent this entire story prayer to me because it was so long. But I sat there, and even though when we are going through our toughest times, it's hard for us to praise God. It's hard for us to pray. And that's what I was telling Kayla. I said, we all are in a habit and all at fault where we can praise God in the happiest moments. Yes, it is. It's very easy to pray, you know, to praise Him during those times. But when we are really going through it, that is when we really need to pray. And I was so distant. But Kayla sent me this prayer, and I read it. And I kid you not, I was a different woman by the end of the business day. But when Wednesday came, it was, I know it was a business day. I know. By the end of it was just by the end of the work day, I left. I forgot that I was depressed.
But for me, like, so I, whatchamacallit? So I personally can resonate in, like, I guess I'm like, can be sensitive to emotions very much. So I personally, like, I you know, sat for a second, prayed it out, you know, dropped some scriptures in there too. So I guess that made that even longer.
Yeah.
Dropped some scriptures in there.
She did drop some scriptures, yes.
But I also was praying that her heart, like, to, like, please release, you know, what was going on, because it didn't take herself. Lorraine said earlier in the episode, it most literally took God to help her overcome all these things, not on her own accord. So, which holds true for you guys too. You know, it's hard to release it. We by human nature have a resistance, but it's in our weakness that He is strong. Pray for the strength to. So what I did was I was like, you know what, like, no worries. Don't have to read this out now. You can wait till later when you have time or whatever. But yeah, like that was a blessing to see that, like, praise report.
It's to tell you the power of prayer, and that God exists and that He is real. We are all human. I have the last probably 3 to 4 months has been the very rockiest for me. I'm very transparent in my expressions and in my feelings. You know, I have had breakdowns. I have cried. Oh God, I've gone through it all. And sometimes when we are going through it, we be like, God, when do I get a break? When can I get a break? Like, why do I have to keep living in a repeated cycle that things keep going on, and I'm praising and I'm worshiping and I'm praying as much as I can. I have a good, genuine heart, and I have all these things going on, and I'm just like, why is the negativity still coming in my direction? And Kayla and I, we was talking about this even earlier today, where I was like, sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, what I do is I actually take the blame for everything, you know, because I'm like, it gotta be something that I am doing to have this negativity, to have these downpourings keep coming to me. You know, it's like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What have I done wrong? And I know we all have asked those questions to ourselves, like, why are we going through this? What can we do to make it better? What can we do to break the cycles? You know, we have a lot of cycles that go on, and we know, especially in the Black and brown communities, there's a lot of things that goes on in our communities. Because I can, you know, I speak about us because I am an African American woman, you know, but it's not to say that it doesn't happen in other races. I hear things that go on in the Indian culture. You know, we know things go on in the white culture. There's things that do go on in our culture that's just across the board, and you sit there and you try to figure out, like, why, you know. And you know, I just try my best to stay prayed up. You know, I'm not going to say that it's something that I actually do every day, but I will say I do worship. Everybody know I worship. We was worshiping this morning. You know, my kids, they know that I do that. They know when we get in the car, I'm praying over them. I'm actually doing a 10-day prayer over my children. They don't even know. You know, I know most of you guys, especially for the older ones who are about my age and older, we know about the praying grandmothers. I didn't have a praying grandmother because I lost both my grandmothers at a very young age. I lost one at 23, and I lost, which was my father's mother. And then I lost my mother's mother at 43, which is the age that I'm going to be. And, so I didn't have praying grandmothers. But I'm going to tell you something. I do have a praying cousin named Francine.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you that right now. Mima Crawford, who also have her own platform and her own podcast as well, Autumn is Here. She prays not only over me, my siblings, my cousins, who I grew up with as sisters, but also all of our children. She is like the praying grandmother or the praying aunt or mother, as you should say. She has no children, but she has children. You understand? You don't need to birth to be a parent.
No.
You don't need to. And she has been that praying parent over all of us. All of us. I mean, she prayed for me. She prayed for my siblings. She prays for my children. She prayed for my nieces and nephews. She prayed for my cousins. I mean, she's just that type of person. But now that has trickled down. That's a good cycle, because now it has trickled down, whereas I continuously pray over my children. I have 3 young black males that I am raising, along with their dad, even though we're divorced. You guys know the story already, but I am praying over my sons as well. I pray over their health, their well-being, no demonic spirits around them, that they stay safe, because we have so many school shootings and things like that, and especially in my 2 youngest schools, they already been hit with threats, and it's a scary thing when you have to face that, even with your own children. So I pray. I'm not sitting here to say that I am a saint. I'm not going to sit here and say I am perfect. I am by no means I am perfect. I have my flaws every single day. I admit to my flaws every single day. I take the accountability for my flaws on a daily basis. But I know who my Savior is. I know who my founder is. I know who's my provider is. I thank God every single day for my house. He placed people in my life for me to get to where I'm at right now. And I thank the people for it, even though I may not talk to them. But I thank the people for them, because they had a purpose. God gave them that purpose for me to be exactly where I'm at. And because my faith had grew from the time that I have moved here, March 26th of 2021. God has not failed me yet.
Yeah. And then just for the audience too, I guess thanks for that, because that depicts the growth that I'm talking about. So for Lorraine, me knowing her as a friend, in the corporate setting, on the above, I get a few angles where I even see a glimpse into her parental growth, as her being a parent, a mom, and then her womanhood too. So the 2 things I would say is it's beautiful to see now her praying for her sons. That reminds me of I forgot, I'm forgetting right now. I'll put it on the screen. But the proverb: train up a child in the way he should go, so when he gets old, he won't depart from it. It's a blessing. That's the overcoming. That's the growth. So any of you guys who are walking the seasons that maybe Lorraine has mentioned and walked, or you fill in the blank for yourselves, but don't grow weary, don't lose hope, keep striving. It'll be tough, it'll be hard, it'll be growing pains. Most of you who are moms, I haven't experienced labor, but those of you who went through trials that journey like that, apply. Certain seasons will be it'll be trials, it'll be tribulations, it'll be joy, but that's all to shape, remold, and grow you. So don't give up prematurely, because that's the purpose God has for you. And that's what, so as Lorraine was talking too, that made me think of, to end this episode off, to sink into all of our hearts, Ephesians chapter 3 verse 13, where it says, therefore I ask that you do not lose heart at my tribulations for you, which is your glory. The tribulations that's meant for you in your life, me in my life, Lorraine in her life, is meant for us to grow us. In the same sense that the growing pains is meant to shape us. We all know when you go through it all, it strengthens you, it equips you.
It does.
So I'm so blessed. So that's just a little depiction of the kind of growth. So I think it's just the waiting. I personally, for me, knowing Lorraine closely, I've seen her bless so many and the blessings are like returning back to her and like unfolding in ways where it's daily that I'm like, oh, okay, that is how I'm seeing things connect, or I'm able to support into her and speak life and say, oh, here's what I'm seeing from a third angle, because it's hard right now, but I've seen it play out where it will reap, it will bear fruits. And so,
and I have my fruits. I got 3 of them.
Yes, exactly, and they're like too. So like, you know, so as a mother and as a woman, I just see the strength and just like the Holy Spirit changes in her life. So I'm like, you have so much favor on your life and within you that like it's not for the weak. You know, her life story is not for the weak. But hey, she's here today.
Still fighting the battle.
Right.
I'm still on the war.
We're talking about that.
Still fighting the battle, and I still have my armor on, and I do help prepare KAYLA, you know, because like I said, there's a 20-year difference,
so
and if there's any encouragement that I can give to her,
and it's plenty. I'm like, but yes, I'm like, I always receive it too. I'm like,
yes, and you know, so if there's anything that I can help shield her from it, I will do so. No difference from me doing it with my sister or my brothers, or even preparing my children. You know, as I told KAYLA, I said, you know, my son, he just turned 17, and I tell him, you know, because now he's highly into dating females and stuff, and you know, I have to talk to him as a mom. And I also have to talk to him as a girl on the street, because they're different, and I need to prepare my son in all different angles. You know, no difference from when my 2 youngest ones will grow up. You know, but they have a praying mother here, and I pray hard over them. They will never know, but I plant those seeds in them. So even if they don't recognize it now, it will hit them when they become men, and they're on their own. It may even hit them when I'm no longer here anymore, and they're gonna be like, wait a minute. It's gonna be little things that be like, you know what, my mother, you know, Josiah, you know, I told you Josiah make jokes all the time. He sent me the little TikTok videos, be like, oh my gosh, this is you, mom, and it'd be a mother blasting gospel music on a Sunday, and he'd be like, I hope she ain't coming upstairs, because you know, I kick in the door and be like, time to clean up, you know, and that's old school, because my parents did it to me.
My mom too. And Creole, love it, get up, everybody up.
Exactly. You know what the sad part is? I don't do it to the 2 little ones, but Josiah get the brunt of it. Yeah, I know. They next. But Makai, he's good. But you know, so you know, they have a praying mother, and like I said, I'm not perfect in any ways. I have my flaws. There's things that I know that I do that are sinful. I know it's sinful.
Right, we all fall short.
I fall short every day. I'll tell you that right now.
Me too.
I fall short every day.
His mercies, though.
But I know who my Savior is. You know. So, any last words you wanna?
I just wanted to ask the audience, please drop down any like prayers or certain topics that you guys pray over for your kids or yourselves. Let us know. So, say if you're comfortable. Like certain things that you are working in, because this is a community. This is, you know, me behind the scenes to help with production and things. Like my heart is just as pure with the same intent as LORRAINE. We're constantly talking about this podcast, and praying about it, and like putting the work in. And like we just think, first of all, thank all of you this far, 4 episodes in. Thank you for your support, the subscriptions and likes, these things,
and passing it on to other people. I definitely
shared. A lot of feedback. So if you're comfortable, share the things that you overcame. Yeah,
and just so you know, we are making a Facebook page just for blended family. It's like a fan page. So we're just trying to figure out the kinks of how to work with the how to create the Facebook page. But the Facebook page will be a community for all of us to be transparent. It's a safe haven where we can it'd be an outpouring.
Cover each other.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's about it.
That is it. So thank you for joining Blended Family Podcast again. Once again, my one-woman production team. And I actually have my son behind me helping me. So thank you, Makai. And thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you at the next episode.
And please subscribe.
Yes.
Okay.